So Jacob,
Yeah.
how's it feel working on the production set of the Sleezmas advent calendar set?
I feel pretty, I feel rather privileged, to be working with such a cast and crew as such that you would find on the Sleezmas set. And it's a great set overall. There's countless props.
Unneeded
like
props.
Props to fit any sort of situation. Great food. We get to eat a lot, you know. There's not like a cheap budget on the food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed that too. The salad, not the salad, the beef
Soup?
vendor.
Beef vendor.
The beef vendor comes
Pretty
by.
much the salad vendor.
Yeah, he comes by with a lot of salad for some odd reason, but he's supposed to be the beef vendor. But anyway, he comes by like every 2 days and restocks our food. Mostly with salad, but you know.
And the bread isn't too bad itself either.
That's because it's Sleezco brand bread.
Yeah, I heard it was locally grown and never frozen.
Oh, never
Always
frozen.
fresh out of the oven.
Fresh out of the fields, if one may ask. You know.
Well, I mean, there's a little cooking involved afterwards.
Yeah, there's a little cooking, but nice. The wheat is picked at perfect time.
It'd be cool if Sleezco had some bread trees, but I don't think those exist yet.
Well, you'd be surprised with the technology that Sleezco bread factories has come up with nowadays.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have this wheat-o-matic, which basically duplicates the wheat, making it a biogenically engineered super wheat because we add one more electron to the wheat system itself, making it a -1 on its atomic number.
Whoa. That's intricate there.
Yes, it's not released to the public yet because, we've had a few failed experiments. I won't get into detail. But
it sounds quite dangerous. Is the bread still edible afterwards?
It's fairly explosive. Let's say that.
I assume that bread would not be edible, right?
No, I don't think it is. I'm
Alright,
pretty sure it's not. I mean, test results say that it's not. The corporate has been trying to get me to shove it down, the consumer rate's throats, but I say no, because it's obviously not safe. Says the scientist down by the Sleezco lab.
Well, we got my opinion. What's your opinion of the Sleezco set?
I personally think whoever made the set put a lot of hard work and their heart into it. And it is just absolutely wonderful working with the cast. But it's just amazing. I mean, we get guest stars every once in a while. A bit of action. I don't even have my double do some of the action scenes. That's how well I like the set itself.
Nice.
It's wonderful.
That's pretty dang cool.
And it really gets you in the Christmas spirit. Speaking of Christmas spirit, do you have any Christmas stories to tell me?
Christmas stories. Well, this one time, around Christmas time, as you might assume, my parents really wanted to get into Christmas spirit. So they thought, let's go out and buy something really, really Christmassy, alright? And they went to a store, a certain kind of store that might, get your spirits up in other categories of the day. Let's just say around Christmas, my parents were rather spirited, if you're catching my drift.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're
knocking
they're
on the old candy
spirits.
cane.
They're spirits. Let's just say there was a lot of such spirits involved in
Oh.
the Christmas time.
Yeah, I understand, like Scrooge and stuff like that.
Not exactly that kind of spirits.
Oh, okay.
Different sort of spirits.
Well, I'm going to assume I know what you're talking about. Go on.
You know, we sip of the sweet juice. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
Spirits.
apple cider.
Yeah, it came from some fruit or vegetable or something like that. Grain.
Herb.
Came from a grain, not a fruit.
Dead fish.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Nah, I mean.
I know what you mean, brother.
Nah, I mean. So, Sleazy, how many Rye Guys do you reckon it would take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Well, seeing how Rye Guy doesn't have a mouth, couldn't tell.
Right, because he's the reindeer.
He,
They don't have mouths.
well, no, it's not that. It's just, Rye Guy just doesn't have a mouth. Rye Guy himself doesn't have a mouth. All the other reindeer have mouths. He doesn't. I don't know why. Poor hip guy. It must suck having to eat things. Like just shoving it through his face. How does he even eat?
I'm not sure at all.
Because I've seen him eat before, but like I never really took notice that he doesn't actually shove it in his mouth. He just kind of poofs in his mouth. But his mouth isn't there, so it can't go in his mouth.
Nom nom nom.
Isn't that odd?
It is rather odd.
Like a 7.
Quite odd indeed.
Well,
On the oddity scale, it's pretty damn high.
Yeah, I would say so.
Almost, one might say, too damn high.
So I have a little Christmas story from my childhood that I'd like to share.
All right.
So
Take a swing.
I remember about maybe 5 years ago, I'd say.
So baby sleazy is what we're getting at.
Yeah, little baby Slezzy. And I was back at my old house. We were all celebrating Christmas. My grandmother, my aunt, my dad, mom, sister, my dog Petey. Now Petey was a very big asset in this story because.
How big of an asset was Petey?
Uh.
Would you say Petey was a rather large asset?
So anyway.
Is Petey the biggest asset in the family?
Petey was my dog.
So Petey's a rather large asset.
Yes.
Got it. Just, on the scale of acidity, I just wanted to know how high Petey was. Like, was he a real big asset? Was he a smart asset? Maybe even a dumb asset. But, you never know.
Right. So, anyway, I remember I wanted one of those little tiny motor cars for kids. You get in it and like you can pretend you're driving and stuff like that. And
You wanted to sit your little asset down in there?
Hey, Jago, I get it. It sounds like ass.
I was talking about Petey. You wanted to get a little motorized vehicle for your dog.
No, not for my dog, for myself.
Oh.
So.
Put your dog in the back?
So anyway, I wanted it, and I didn't know what it was really called, so I called it a slam in the mud truck. I don't know why.
Slam in the mud truck.
A slam in the mud truck.
Wait, a slam in the mud truck or a slam in the mud truck?
Slam in the mud truck.
Those have two totally different meanings.
Let me tell my story, Jacob.
Okay, well, I was just making sure you weren't slamming the mud truck.
Alright, so I called it a slam in the mud truck because the commercial showed it slamming in the mud. So I'm like, it's a slam in the mud truck. So, you know, right about when Christmas comes, I'm like super excited. I'm so excited. I'm like, yeah, I know Santa's going to bring me that slam in the mud truck. And, so the next morning, I, you know, unwrapping all my presents. Oh man, this is cool, and some shit. I got Scooby-Doo slippers.
Yeah. In the mud?
I got Scooby-Doo slippers. And they had like little Scooby-Doo heads like popping out at the toes. So, you know, it was like a cool little kid slipper thing. And I remember when I put them on, I don't know what snapped in my dog's brain because PD was such a calm and collective dog.
Yeah.
But something snapped and he's like...
And he turned into a really large asset?
I have to murder these slippers. So he comes up, takes my foot, and he starts dragging me off the chair. Like, I'm like, Pete.
Was he saying red rum the whole way?
No.
Oh.
No, Jacob. And so I'm getting a drug on the floor. Pete's going. Everybody's trying to get him off, and then he takes my slipper and he like runs away with it. He took my slipper and ran away with it. So now, yeah, and I didn't want to. The slipper was torn now, so I couldn't wear that one. But I was still wearing my other one. So I went out to try and get the slipper back, but I saw like it's already ruined. So I came back in. My parents were like, "All right, let's go outside." And we went outside, and sure enough, there's my slam in the mud truck. So me with my one slipper on, my one Scooby-Doo slipper. I'm like, yeah, it's so awesome. So I jump in, and the Scooby-Doo slipper, the head part gets caught on a nail because I was still on the porch, and I fall and straight on my face, right on the pavement.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was so excited for this.
PD is a really large asset.
So, like, I was so excited for that slam in the mud truck. I didn't even care. I got right back up. And I'm like, yeah, slam in the mud truck. Yeah, I drove it around all day. It was great. It was a great Christmas, not gonna lie.
Too bad for the slippers, though.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to those slippers.
Done disappeared.
They done fooped up.
done derped away.
Yeah, they done derped away. Okay. So I feel I could have told that story in a lot shorter time. But, you know, you being here.
Well, I mean, between, you know, PD, who is quite a big asset, and, you know, slamming your mud truck. That's a pretty busy story going on there. You gotta make sure you get every detail in there. You know what I mean?
Jay, I want to put a counter in the corner to count how many times you said asset. You know why?
Why?
Because you're a real big ass hat.